Hey mamas, this episode kicks off a week of extra episodes on the Streamlined Motherhood Podcast. It's March 2020, and we are in an unprecedented time of global uncertainty. As your life coach and a fellow mom, it's my goal to be the example of what it looks like to show up bravely and fully for my family, my community, and you. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through how to be brave in motherhood. I know that this is something that we all need right now. I know that you're already brave, mama, but we're going to solidify and support your courage so that it pours over into your kids. Are you ready? Let's do this. This is the Streamlined Motherhood Podcast. I'm Kate Saffel, certified simplicity parenting family life coach and mom of 3. I'm here to guide you back to your intuition, to help you overcome daily overwhelm, and to start feeling confident in the mama and woman you are. Each episode, I'll share tips and encouragement for thriving on your motherhood journey, because this life you're living is way too important to put on autopilot. In a time of fear-mongering, sensationalized media, and uncertainty from minute to minute, it's time we take a collective deep breath. No, really, take a deep breath. Okay, I've got you. We cannot run ourselves ragged on adrenaline, and instead must become the peace and calm our children need most. One way we can show up for our families is by stepping into the fullest expression of our bravery. True bravery is being able to see the circumstances that are outside our control, and instead of letting them rule how we think and act, we decide how we'll show up from an inner core of strength. Part of that inner core is our values and knowing exactly who we are as mothers and as a family. We can look at our past and all the ways we've stepped up in bravery previously and let that bolster us. The enemy that we fear isn't out there, but is within us if we allow our negative thoughts to run rampant in our brains and impact how we show up for ourselves and our families. Let's talk about anxiety for a moment. Have you been feeling anxious or uncertain lately? If you are, you're not alone. Anxiety manifests when we feel that we don't have control over a situation. The reason we feel like we don't have control is because we've chosen to think that either we can or we cannot have control over a circumstance, but control is just an illusion. Instead, we must allow the circumstance to be what it is and then choose our thoughts accordingly. For example, if I'm worrying about something that's happening halfway around the world, or even in my state, my town, my province, wherever we live, what is it that I can do to change that? My worry won't make a dent in it. And I'm wasting my mental energy circling around something that I cannot change. When fear becomes our main feeling, we lose our ability to think and act from love, which is the truest emotion we all possess. When we are acting in love, we are trusting in ourselves and that the world will keep turning. And if you're religious, love can look a lot like faith and trusting that God will prevail and keep you safe despite the turmoil happening in our environment. Love knocks fear out every single time, and it is one of your greatest assets in showing up bravely. Anxiety is something I've dealt with most of adulthood, and it ebbs and flows for me. When I am conscious and aware of my thoughts and choosing ones that are healthy for me, that produce positive feelings, I am calm, connected, and at peace. Or I sometimes choose to allow negative thoughts to pull me into a downward spiral of panic, fear, and lack. There is no clarity of thought or rationality when we act from a space of fear and lack. Our brains believe us to be in danger, so they flood our bodies with chemicals that increase the anxiety, and then we stay in that same mental emotional loop. If that's where you're at right now, there's no shame. Please know that we are all on this journey, and it looks differently for everyone. It's taken me a long time to get where I'm at mentally and emotionally, and that's why I'm so passionate about helping other mothers to do the same. I'm going to share with you some tactics for overcoming fear-based thinking so that you can step into your bravery no matter what is happening in the world around us. Are you ready? When you feel your brain becoming fearful and you want to act instead out of bravery, it looks something like this. Okay, first, I want you to notice when you're feeling scared. It will manifest in your body in predictable ways, such as, you're breathing really shallowly and not taking in the deep breaths that your body needs. You might feel tightness in your chest and your throat. Your mind might be racing. You may have a clenched jaw or clenched fists. Bring your awareness to your body and try relaxing each part of your body slowly and intentionally. You can also do this with your kids and show them how to scan their bodies for tension. I'm going to include some recorded audio versions of this in my show notes, so make sure to check those out. You can find them at thestreamlinedlife.com/the-podcast. Next, I want you to ask yourself what you're really scared of. Try to pinpoint the exact thought you're holding that is causing you so much fear. So often when we're fearful, we don't even really know what it is that is triggering the fear. It's just this heavy blanket of anxiety and panic. The more information that you can dig up and provide yourself, the more it's going to give you clarity and some rationality. Once you can see the thought that is triggering your fear, ask yourself if this is reality for you in this moment, or is it something you're choosing to focus on that doesn't need your attention? For example, in the past when I was a super mega worrier, I would worry about everything and anything. It didn't matter what it was. It could be way in the future. It could be next week. It could be happening right now in the world, but be something that had no impact on me. And yet my mind would race and race and race. And so again, the way to stop that cycle is to figure out what is the root thought that is creating the cycle. What is it that you're really scared and worried about? Often it's something as simple as, I think that I'm unsafe. I think that my family is unsafe. Figure out what it is and ask if that's really true in this moment. And then next, I want you to thank that fear for keeping you safe, as weird as that sounds. We want to be grateful for it. We want to be grateful that we can feel fear, because if we didn't, that would be kind of a problem, right? It is very useful in a lot of situations. So express gratitude and also remind your brain that you'll decide what thoughts steer your ship forward. So we're not trying to resist our fearful thoughts or push them away, but acknowledge them, let them be there, and then not make decisions from a place of fear. Fear has a place. It is useful for us. But that place is not in making all of your decisions for you. And that is how we do become brave, my friends, is that we act in spite of the fear. And then next, imagine a thought and corresponding feeling that creates for you a sense of peace, calm, or whatever it is that you need in that moment. So if you're feeling completely unsafe, you may not be able to hold the thought of, I'm perfectly safe in this moment. But you could tell yourself that it is possible for me to be safe. I could be safe in this very moment. Whatever it is that you can hold as a thought that allows you to baby step into a more positive thought, that will be very useful to you. Sometimes we have to fake it a little to shift our emotions, right? If I'm feeling really scared, I can't suddenly say okay, now I feel so peaceful. That's not reality. But we can kind of trick our brains and our bodies into feeling the way that we want to, which is super cool. And so one way that you can do this is reflect on a memory or a place that makes you feel really happy, peaceful, joyful, any of those good feeling emotions. So for me, I love to think about some of my favorite travel memories with my family. I can't help but feel absolute joy. And when we get really centered on that feeling of being joyful or happy or peaceful, we can't also simultaneously feel fear, truly. So the key is to really get yourself into a new feeling. And this might take some work, or your brain might resist and be like, this is ridiculous. This is a silly exercise. But it is our feelings that create our actions, and then our actions create our results. So if you keep looping in fear, what do you have to lose? Give it a try, okay? And then I want you to take that new thought that you want to hold and repeat it to yourself or write it down while you experience the positive feeling. So again, you're connecting the thought and the feeling, and you're showing your brain, hey, Here's a new path, brain. Let's do this. So what we just did with all of those steps is starting the retraining of your brain to move out of a fear loop. This takes time and practice. So each time you feel yourself getting fearful, you'll need to quickly cycle back through those steps I just listed. I promise it'll get easier and you'll get to a point where you will generally not feel any unnecessary fear. For me, I really don't worry anymore. I don't. Even with everything going on right now in the world, I've cultivated such a strong sense of inner peace that for the most part, it's like water down my back, like as if I was a duck. Is that how that expression goes? I digress. Anyway, you get the point, right? Another way that you can just increase your feeling of bravery and confidence is to adopt a mantra or affirmation that is supportive and encouraging to you and your family. So I mentioned this in another episode, but our family mantra is, I am healthy, I am strong, I am safe, and nothing's wrong. You're totally welcome to borrow mine or to think of another one that would support you and your family to stay out of fear. We can also grow in bravery by committing to the future version of ourselves and our families. Fear wants us to believe that, oh no, this is the end of the road. The world is coming to an end. Everything is just falling to SHIT. But here's the deal. Struggle has always been part of the human experience, and so has joy. You have a choice on which one you're going to focus your attention daily. One way that I do that is by writing down every day my dream for my family. I see it in my mind clearly, I get excited for us and the life we're going to live, and when we are excited and full of love, there is no room for fear. So my mama friends, crowd out the fear with steadfast belief in a beautiful future for you and your family. Another way that we can stay out of fear and connect to our bravery is to show up fully for our families in this very moment. Right now, I'm guessing that you're at home with your kids more than ever. You don't have a choice, and that can feel really hard. You may think that you can't do it, that it's too hard to keep children happy and entertained day after day. You may even be trying to work from home at the same time. And I want to offer you a solution. What if you believed that this situation arose so that you would have the opportunity to show up fully for your kiddos? What if you held the thought that it's your time to grow and be the mom you've always wanted to be? Not out of guilt, but out of bravery. To show up even when you feel like you're not enough or like you're going to fail. You have everything you need inside of you to be the brave, peaceful mama your kids need. Additionally, by focusing on your family and your home, you'll become more centered into the present moment. When you feel your mind wandering into fearland, turn on some dance music and shake it with your kids. Pull out a board game and light some candles and make it special. Or grab a beloved book, snuggle up, and read aloud. Remember, you have the control and the ability to be the example of bravery and centered living for your family. You, mama, are truly brave. Even if you don't feel it right now, even if you're feeling scared, it's okay to be scared. We're still going to show up for ourselves and our families anyway, and I know that you can do it. Okay, mamas, that's it for this episode. I'll be back very soon with another one, hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. So keep an eye on my website or make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to episodes. So much love to you all, and I will see you next time. Hey mamas, if you enjoyed this episode, did you know that coaching with me one-on-one is the fastest and the best way to implement all of these ideas? I teach my clients exactly how to stop daily overwhelm, to overcome negativity and that feeling that you're never enough. You know what I'm talking about, right? And we do this so that you can confidently become the mama and woman you've always dreamed of being. There's no shame in getting help. We all need a helping hand. So head to the streamlinedlife.com/life coaching with Kate Saffel. That's SAFFLE to sign up for a free 50-minute consult with me. And together we'll get clear on all of your struggles and a roadmap for how to overcome them. You and I together, we've got this.